Good morning. And welcome to Unity of Palmyra, where centered in love, we embrace a positive path for spiritual living. We are an open and affirming community. We love you exactly as you are in all of your magnificent glory. And we got to spread some of that love at Pride yesterday. So no, it's not a work day. This is my post-Pride I'm tired outfit. So if you were at Pride and supported our booth, would you stand, please? Oh, look at the triplets over here, and they're matching. There you go. Oh, have a seat. And Jackie was also there, and according to her, Cassie insisted that I get a Pride manicure while we were waiting. So there you go. It is all Pride this weekend. All right. So let's take a nice big deep breath. Oh, and if you are joining us from home and if it's safe for you to close your eyes, I invite us all to do so as we indicate to the world that we are coming apart for a while to remember the truth of who we are, that we are spiritual beings having an incredibly interesting human experience, and that we embrace both of those states of being. We embrace both our humanity and our divinity, and we acknowledge the same not only for ourselves but for everyone we meet. That is the truth that we come together to remember. And not just to remember it here or during this time, but when we leave this space, when we leave this time, to take that truth with us, to demonstrate that truth everywhere we go, with everyone we encounter. And as always, we enter into this experience with gratitude, as we say thank you for this time, this few precious minutes to come apart for a while. Thank you for whatever safe space you are in as you hear these words, and most especially thank you for one another. And so it is. Amen. So we're doing a new song this morning, and the way we're going to do it is Janie's going to sing the opening verse for us, and then we're going to jump in and we're going to sing the chorus at least 3 times as we get to know it. So let's stand. I mean, literally, let's stand. Sorry.
For years I would talk about how I wanted to change the world, but I always left it up for someone else to do. But then I finally realized that I needed to take a stand, and that by changing my thinking I could change my life, and that's how I could change the world. So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love.
All right, let's share together in our vision. Centered in love, we embrace a positive path for spiritual living. And our mission, wherever we go, we provide a welcoming community that inspires and encourages all who gather here through the teaching, sharing, and practice of universal spiritual principles. And one of the ways we practice those principles is to honor wherever you are on your hugging journey. Aww. Poor little T-Rex. You just never know what Jackie's going to pop up there, do ya? So, if you would like a hug, we will bring it on in. If you are more comfortable with a handshake, we will honor that. And if you want us to leave you completely alone, trust me, we understand, and we will respect whatever bubble you create around yourself. Have a great time.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Here we go. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
We don't get used to it. Seriously, you all. It's still not enough. You know, we could hug during fellowship too, I'm just saying. Okay, I know we love it. All right, couple of announcements. Our prayer chaplains today are Sherry Fries and Debbie LaTulip. Could you guys just raise your hands back there? They will be holding sacred space for us during the service, and then they'll be available over here in this nice quiet corner after the service if anyone would like to have some one-on-one prayer. Big thank you for Pride, which we did. I'm going to be doing, I shouldn't say the council and I actually have concocted kind of a fun exercise that we're going to be doing over the next 2 weeks. So you only have to participate one of the weeks. We're doing it over 2 weeks to make sure that everybody has a chance to what do you mean, uh-oh? Man. Yeah, well, we're hoping it's going to be fun and interesting because the council, we've been having just amazing, just gaining some real clarity over who we are and why we're here and what is our purpose. And the clearer we get, the more excited we get, and we want to engage you in that excitement. So see, it's fun and interesting. Thank you. Aren't you excited? Okay. So what all it's going to require you doing once over the next 2 weeks is putting your name on a piece of paper that are going to be posted on the walls in Holy Grounds downstairs. See, easy peasy. And then at the hug meeting on the 13th, we're going to tell you why you put your name on a piece of paper. That's the interesting part. Okay, no, I promise, all is well. All is well. Okay, I also wanted to say, I want to acknowledge Larry. Larry, raise your hand. So Larry and I went out last week and we did some weeding for Palmyra Senior Living right here on Main Street. Every time I would drive by on my way to church, I would think they must be having a little bit of a struggle there because the beds used to be so beautifully, manicured and weeded and mulched. And so I talked about it at the hug meeting last month and said, if anybody wants to come help me weed, well, Larry showed up. We were in our grubbies. We had our tools. He had the big tools. I had the other tools. And we weeded both the front beds and mulched both the front beds. The pictures will be in this week's weekly email. We had a great time. We were even grubbier afterwards. But the best part was about halfway through, the new maintenance director came out, a gentleman named Jerome, who was absolutely delightful, said, please let me help you. So he helped us load all the big stuff into the back of our van to take to the mulcher place. He filled, I think it was 4 bags of little stuff, helped me with the weeding, helped me with the mulching, absolutely delightful. Asking me all sorts of questions about what's a weed and what's not a weed. By the way, azalea is not a weed. Okay. So, and actually Larry taught me a couple things. I thought it was a butterfly bush. Nope. Great big honkin' huge weed that he dug out. But what was really fun was he said, you've inspired me. Inside of the gate, there's some more beds that wrap around a little courtyard, and they were just as weedy. And he said, I'm going to get out here this week, and I'm going to weed this. So when I went back on Friday with more mulch, he had weeded the entire inside bed, inside the fence. Energy, right? Energy. So when we do acts of service in the community, which we want to do more and more of, it's not just about the act of service. It's about the relationship. It's about encouraging. He was feeling so overwhelmed. He's relatively new. Just us being there for 2 hours gave him the energy to move past the overwhelm and get more done. So thank you, Larry. It was wonderful working with you. We had a great time. It was good. All right. Source of light. You would like to talk about source of light. You go, girl. Okay. Are you gonna do a song and dance up here, or okay?
Guess I'm first. In case you haven't figured out, Source of Light is this weekend, starting Friday afternoon and all day Saturday till like 3 o'clock. We really would appreciate it if you would come out. We have a gallery reading on Saturday afternoon. Gwen is doing sound immersion Friday evening. Along with that, there will be a dinner served and with wine. It's a wonderful evening and a way to unwind. It's a huge holistic weekend of all different kinds of vendors and practitioners. Some of our own here, Gwen and Lisa and Elaine and Holly and on and on. So, I mean, it's just a wonderful weekend. I think this is our 4th year of doing it. I have tickets for the gallery for Saturday. So even if you have an hour to spend, please come out. It keeps growing every year. We're very, very happy about it. We put a lot of time and effort in, and we would love to see you. Oh, parking, the big thing. Parking, yeah, where do we park? ASK will not be here on Friday evening, so you can park across the street. But also the Church of the Brethren down the street graciously allows us to park there and anywhere along the street as well. Friday night, maybe Saturday, I don't know. My mom and I park over here. It is part of ECS Comfort, but they are our vendor, so I think they probably would be very nice if we would park there as well. But you have to kind of look for a little bit of parking down the street.
So I'm here to ask for your help if you have not volunteered yet. This is a really huge event. The Source of Light is a fundraiser for this church, as well as just putting out things to the community, and we invite the world in. And we are expecting quite a large crowd this year, and we need everybody who can help, who's going to be here and available. The vendors set up on Friday, the church is open, and they come in, and then we need people here to volunteer to welcome people who come in, give them an event guide. Bridget has people literally handhold new people who come in and look like, what are we supposed to do? And that they walk them around, show them who all the vendors are, things like that. So there's that one type of service. We need people who can come in and greet. So there's one sign-up sheet downstairs from Bridget that has people helping us set up on Thursday, tear down on Saturday. And by the way, it goes until 4, Vicki. Can you stay till 4? Yeah. So we do have people in need to help us tear down and things like that. But we also need kitchen help. And there is a new sign-up sheet downstairs for that because Helene Gatos has put so much time into that kitchen, and Linda Klein is there to help her. But we need people in the kitchen as well to help serve and to take money and things like that. So there's a couple sign-up sheets down there. If you could possibly give us, again, a few hours, we would greatly, greatly appreciate it. And it's just, again, a great time, a great energy to be here. So what else?
And there's another sign-up sheet with still some openings for food. If you can help, if you want to donate, I'm not sure what all is left on there. There's not a lot. We thank you for that, but there's still a couple of slots of some food that we need.
Oh, good. We're going to have a fabulous time. Thank you.
It is actually a very fabulous time. Yes, Kate, thank you.
Good morning. I view my life through eyes of wonder. I feel inspired watching a young child discovering new things, eyes wide with awe and wonder. Even the smallest experiences, feeling the tickle of a butterfly on the skin, or blowing the seeds of a dandelion, they are a marvel and a joy. I think of this when disappointing life experiences chip away at my sense of awe and appreciation. Today, I let go of disillusionment and open my heart and my eyes to once again live in wonder. As I view life anew, I renew my belief in the goodness of life and of all people. I open myself to the unexpected treasures happening around me every day. Wonder is a precious gift, one I use to appreciate the marvels unfolding before me. And from Acts, they were filled with wonder and amazement at what had happened to him.
I am home, my family is here. I feel loved by the ones I hold so dear. And when my family needs me, I promise to be there. And when I need my family, I'm lifted up in prayer.
So this is the time of our service where we consciously enter into that prayerful attitude, that recognizing that prayer is an integration of body, mind, and spirit. that every thought, word, and deed is a prayer, expressing to the universe how spirit is emerging through us, demonstrating our unique purpose, our individual values, our commitment to being the presence of love and acceptance and joy in the world. And so at this time in our service, we very consciously and mindfully place ourselves into that space, allowing spirit, allowing that cosmic energy that we call God to flow through us, to enliven us, to empower us, to find the unhealed places and heal us at depth. And so if you are experiencing a challenge at this time, regardless of how that challenge shows up in your life, we surround you now with the love, the comfort, the strength, wisdom, power, and energy of this community. We embrace you with an energetic hug and whisper into your ear, all is well. And if you have cause for gratitude or joy or celebration today, we invite you to spread that energy through that golden web that connects us all, so that we can share in your delight. For we know that one of the gifts of community is that when we share our troubles, they are divided. And when we share our joy, it is multiplied. And as always, we remember that together or apart, we are forever connected at the heart. And so it is. Namaste.
The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. You are beautiful. You are whole. You are beautiful. You are whole. I used to dream out loud. Just being human made me proud. Now I throw my hands up in the air from disillusion and despair. My heart has taken such abuse. I've used my hurt as my excuse. It's like all hope has disappeared behind the shadow of my fear. And I wonder why they say that aging thins the skin. Then I remember I am only one. I am not alone. I don't have to do everything. I can right one wrong. I can sing one song. It's time to begin. Oh, sorry. It's time to live again. I am unjaded. What if you have to fall to grow? I've fallen hard enough to know. So what if life's not fair? Doesn't mean that I'm too cool to care. And I wonder when I stop believing right will win. Then I remember I am only one, but I am not alone. I don't need to do everything, no. I can right one wrong, I can sing one song. I don't need to do everything. It's time to dive back in. It's time to live again. Unjaded, what kind of life would I live with my heart closed? What kind of person would I be? What kind of world would I be creating if I can't love with all of me? If I can't love with all of me? I am only one, but I am not alone. I don't need to do everything on my own. I can right one wrong or sing one song. I don't need to do everything. I am only one, but I am not alone. I don't need to do everything, no. I can right one wrong, I can sing my song. I don't need to do everything. It's time to dive back in. It's time to dive back in. It's time to live again. I am unjaded. Ooh. Unjaded.
Thank you. Daniel has shared previously that he wrote that song after he went through a rough patch. Like he was disillusioned and tired and just seeing so much in the world that was a disappointment, and realized that he ran the risk of becoming very jaded. And that's not who he was. And so he came out the other side. And that was one of the songs that was a result of that time. And it reminded me of something that I read once that said, underneath every cynic is a disappointed idealist, right? That sometimes we become cynical not because we don't care, but because we care so deeply. And we think that what we have to offer just isn't enough. How can the little bit that we can do contribute to a world that has so many challenges? And that's the beauty of this song. We're one, but we're not alone. And that's the power of being in community, that our collaborative energy can do so much. And it's one of the reasons that Janie and I chose this is because one of the ways that we can shift back to idealism, that we can shift back to hope, that we can shift back to, as he says, wanting to get back out there, right, is by discovering our passion. What is our passion? What makes us get out of bed in the morning with enthusiasm instead of, groaning? Or groan and then be enthusiastic. I'm just honoring our demographic, I'm just saying, right? It's discovering our passion And so that's this week's chapter in the Happiness Project. Gretchen calls it Pursue a Passion. So I just want to read you a quick excerpt. I don't know why I have so much trouble with that word. She says, to keep this month's, or in our case, this week's, resolution to pursue a passion, I first had to recognize my passion. Done. So for her, it's books and reading and more books and more reading and writing books and more reading and writing more books and more reading. Okay? My next step was to make time for it, to find ways to integrate my passion into my ordinary days, and to stop measuring myself against some irrelevant standard of efficiency. I had a goal a couple of years ago to be less efficient. Yeah, right? Right? Because I was kind of like the efficiency police, and I realized that that was kind of sapping the joy out of what I was doing. Right? So yeah, less efficient. I also wanted to learn to master some of the new technology that makes book making easy. So that's the new technology part of your practices this week. She says, and this is, I think, the important part, not everyone shares my particular passion, of course. Instead of books, it might be college football. Yes. Or community theater, or politics, or garage sales. But whatever your passion might be, happiness research predicts that making extra time for a passion, and this is the important part, one of the important parts, treating it as a real priority instead of an extra to be fitted in a free moment, which many people practically never have, will bring a tremendous happiness boost. One thing I learned from my blog, however, was that some people feel overwhelmed by the question, what's your passion? It's like, you know, when you ask a 10-year-old, what do you want to be when you grow up? What? Right? Like I barely figured out in my 40s what I wanted to be when I eventually grew up, right? It seems so large and unanswerable that they feel paralyzed. If so, a useful clue to finding a passion to pursue, whether for work or play, is to do what you do. What did you enjoy doing as a 10-year-old? What do you do on a free Saturday afternoon? This is a strong indication of your passion. Do what you do is helpful because it points you to examining your behavior rather than your self-conception, and therefore may be a clearer guide to your preferences. So, what's your passion? Not rhetorical. What do you feel passionate about? Music. There you go. Good. I'm so glad our music team is passionate about music. Woo! That was a close one. Right? Nature. Good. Teaching. Yes. What else? What are you passionate about? What brings you so much joy when you're doing it? What? Writing. Yes, I love that we have a new writers group. If you love to write, if writing is your passion, please talk to Jeff McFarland after the service today. What else? Clothes, theater, and travel. The trifecta of Vicky's passion. There you go. There you go. What were you going to say, Noelle? Yes, just the act of creativity, right? Just the act. So think about, what did you love to do at 10, right? What do you do? So just hypothetically, let's assume you do have some free time, okay? What do you do in your free time? Read, right? Sports. Yes. Penn State. So the first thing you have to do in order to engage in your practices for the week, and they're up here. And remember, if you weren't here last week, make sure you get your gold stars so you can fill out, you can give yourself gold stars. Gretchen loves gold stars. So the first thing you have to do is decide, what are you passionate about? And then Be willing to make it a priority. Be willing to make the time for it. Now, when I say that, what comes up? Like when I say, because basically what I'm saying here is make time to do something that feeds you, that empowers you, that juices you. So what comes up for you when I say you have to make time for it? You have to make it a priority. I know what I hear in the back of my head is that Protestant/Mennonite work ethic that says, well, I'll get to it when all my work is done, when I've done everything that I should do or have to do. Right? And am I alone? Come on, we live in central Pennsylvania, people. I know I'm not alone, okay? Right? Right? So I'm going to encourage you to let that go. Because yes. That's another example of how to tell if you're passionate about something. So like when you're in your beads, right? You lose track of time, right? You start doing it and all of a sudden it's 3 or 4 or 7 hours later. And your husband is saying, honey, have you eaten today? Right? So for me, what happens is when I'm writing, when I'm creating, like I'm working on our fall series, the Welcome to Earth series, I am having an absolute blast creating that for y'all. And I was working on it last week and completely lost track of the time. Was so absorbed in making this just enlivening and interesting and challenging, right? That I completely lost track of the time. So that's another indication. So yes, please, your passion is why you are here. It is a priority. It's not what you do after everything else. So please let go of that and focus on what brings you joy and your purpose for being here. So she also says, are we willing to forget about results? Oh. Gosh, we might even touch on perfectionism here, but hold on. So she says this, one thing that makes a passion enjoyable is that you don't have to worry about results. You can strive for triumph, or you can potter around, tinker, explore, without worrying about efficiency or outcomes. Other people may wonder why you've been happy to work on that same old car for years, even though it's still not running. But that doesn't matter to you. An atmosphere of growth brings great happiness. Remember, that's one of her happiness commandments, our manifesto. But at the same time, happiness sometimes also comes when you're free from the pressure to see much growth. That's not surprising. Often, the opposite of a great truth is also true. So I was watching Sherry crocheting today. She's working on a beautiful blanket, and it has some very intricate stitches. And when I looked at it, I thought, that looks really hard. That doesn't look like it would be hugely relaxing. So some crochet projects give us an opportunity for growth. And then other crochet projects, we just do the same row over and over and over and over again, and so that we can completely zone out while we're making that particular scarf, right? Figure out what space you're in. Sometimes what we're passionate about does cause us to grow, right? And sometimes what we're passionate about means that we can just have fun, not care about the result, not care about if anybody ever even sees what it is that we're doing. It's just for us to express us. So now, Sherry, you have to show everybody what you were doing afterwards. So speaking of growth and challenge, the other thing that Gretchen talks about in here is in service to our passion. Are we willing, if it's called for, to learn a new technology? So I want to invite all the Luddites in the room to take a nice big deep breath Yes, I'm looking at you, right? Are we willing to learn something new in service to our passion? Are we willing to kind of step out of our comfort zone? Maybe it's not learning a new technology, maybe it's learning a new stitch, right? Maybe it's learning a new way of doing something that we've always done. I learned a lot about weeds from working with Larry. I mean that in the nicest way, Larry, yeah, right? So a good example of this, because I'm actually kind of in the Luddite camp. Technology has always really intimidated me. I totally rely on Ken and the techno folks in our community to support me, because I get very nervous and intimidated around it. And then COVID hit. And I had already been introduced to Zoom, but just in a real cursory kind of let someone else log me in, let someone else call on me to contribute. But I had to really learn Zoom. And I had to learn all about how to stream, not the technical parts, thank you, but, you know, like letting your streaming people know where you're going to be standing during a service and not like walking out into the congregation without telling them, right? They don't like that, just news splash there, right? I had to learn to be not only proficient with it, but I had to be comfortable with it. Because what I realized was if I was leading a Zoom class or a Zoom workshop and I was nervous, that energy was going to come through to the class. And it was also going to distract me. It was going to impact my ability to hold that very important energetic space during the class. So I had to practice and practice and practice, and I had to make mistakes. I had to accidentally log us out a couple of times. I had to learn how to share a slide, not my entire desktop, right? I had to make mistakes. I had to learn a new technology. And that was in service to my passion of teaching and serving, right? I had to learn a new technology. I am super grateful now that I know how to do that, because otherwise we wouldn't be having the amazing fall series downstairs that we're going to be having, right? You know it's going to work that in, right, Noel? Because we're going to be using Zoom during our fall series to include everyone, those of us who follow us online and those of us in the building. So are you willing to learn something new? Maybe you don't have to master a new technology, but are you willing to learn something new in service to your passion, in service to your purpose? So I also loved how remember last week how she wrapped up with, do you really want to be happy? You know, she asked us that really uncomfortable question. Do you really want to be happy? So she has a kind of a similar ending to this week, but with a little bit of a twist. So I'm going to let her have the final word here. She says, on the very last day of this month, I had an important realization. It became my fourth splendid truth. Jamie and I were having dinner with a guy we knew slightly. He asked me what I was working on, and after I described the Happiness Project, he said, in polite disagreement, that he himself subscribed to John Stuart Mill's view, and he gave the precise quotation from Mill, so I was impressed. Ask yourself whether you are happy, and you cease to be so. One of the problems of thinking about happiness all the time is that I've developed rather decided views. I wanted to pound the table and yell, no, no, no. Instead, I managed to nod and say, in a mild voice, yes, a lot of people take that view. I can't say that I agree. I could see it in the guy's face. John Stuart Mill versus Gretchen Rubin. Who's more likely to be right? But in my experience, at least, thinking about happiness had made me far happier than I was before I gave happiness much consideration. Now, Mill may have been referencing that state of flow identified by the researcher Mihaly, whose last name I cannot pronounce. In flow, it's true. People are completely absorbed, so focused on their tasks that they forget themselves at the perfect balance of challenge and skill, which we just talked about. But I think that Mill meant, or people generally believe, that thinking about your happiness makes you self-absorbed. You're not thinking about other people, work, or anything other than your own satisfaction. Or perhaps Mill meant that happiness comes as a consequence of pursuing other goals, such as love and work, and shouldn't be a goal in itself. Now, we know from the previous 8 weeks that the opposite is actually true, that happy people are actually more compassionate, more philanthropic, more productive, more benevolent. So, sorry, Mill, you're wrong. Okay, going on. Of course, it's not enough to sit around wanting to be happy. You must make the effort to take steps toward happiness by acting with more love, finding work you enjoy, and all the rest. But for me, asking myself whether I was happy had been a crucial step toward cultivating my happiness more wisely through my actions. Also, only through recognizing my happiness did I really appreciate it. Happiness depends partly on external circumstances, and it also depends on how you view those circumstances. Well, that would be Unity's third principle, right? Thoughts and feelings held in mind produce after their kind. I thought about this question many times during the course of the year, but finally it hit me that this was my fourth splendid truth. You're not happy unless you think you're happy. Then it struck me that the fourth splendid truth has a corollary. You're happy if you think you're happy. And that means thinking about happiness, no matter what John Stuart Mill said. Amen. Let's take that into meditation.
We all have gifts to share. Everyone, everywhere. Let the truth be told. Miracles unfold. We all have gifts to share. We all have gifts to share. Everyone, everywhere. Let the truth be told. Miracles unfold. We all have gifts to share. Every child born comes into this world in a wondrous moment of glory. And the truth we've come to know as we live and love and grow is the gift that opens our story. The story of courage to begin, a journey of faith from within, with so much hope, joy, and love. Just imagine, we all have gifts to share. Everyone, everywhere. Let the truth be told. Miracles unfold. We all have gifts to share. We all have gifts to share.
So let's take a nice big deep breath together. Feel the breath moving all the way through you, all the way down to your toes. And as we continue to breathe, we feel the breath move through our body, move through every cell, every muscle, every bone, nourishing, empowering, enlivening our physical being. And then we notice as the breath brings oxygen to our brain, that we wake up. Our mind is flooded with ideas, with inspiration. As the universe seeks to express through us, through our passion, our purpose, our joy. To bring love wherever we go. So on our next breath, we focus on our heart, on that space that surrounds our heart. And we consciously breathe into that space. And we visualize our heart warming, expanding, glowing. And we feel, we experience the love, the wisdom, the compassion, and the courage that flow from this powerful heart center. We continue to breathe into this space, to focus on those qualities. And we ask, how am I to share my passion? How am I to bring me to the world? And as you ask these questions of yourself, we pause and we listen. We listen to that still, small voice that is yearning to be heard, that is yearning to express as and through you. And as we listen, we commit to honoring that voice, to honoring that passion, to make time for that passion, to enjoy it, letting go of results, letting go of outcome. And we also open ourselves to any challenge that we may encounter in service to that passion. We embrace the learning and the growth. In service to the many gifts we were born to share.
When we all share the we know and see the gifts in each other, then we can be the change we want to see in the world with our sisters and brothers. And we will raise our voices high, lift our hearts up to the sky, and together we'll let our spirits fly. For we all have gifts to share, everyone, everywhere. Let the truth be told, miracles unfold. We all have gifts to share. Let the truth be told, miracles unfold. We all have gifts to share.
That was lovely. Oh, so this is the time of our service where we get to say thank you, thank you, thank you for your incredible generosity, for the sharing of your time, talent, and treasure in service to the very important work of this community. It was really fun at Pride yesterday. We had several people come up and say, I live in Palmyra. I didn't know you guys were in Palmyra. We're here, right? So that was awesome to get to share that. We're here, and we would love to see you. So thank you for your generosity. We don't pass the basket anymore. It was one of those wonderful things we got to give up with COVID. If you have paper, it can go in the back basket, and then there's all sorts of electronic ways that it can just fly right into our accounts to support us in doing the good work of this community. So thank you.
I've been staring at the edge of the water long as I can remember, never really knowing why. I wish I could be the perfect daughter, but I come back to the water no matter how hard I try. Every turn I take, every trail I track, every path I make, every road leads back to the place I know, where I cannot go, where I long to be. See the line where the sky meets the sea, it calls me. Now I know so far it goes. If the wind in my sail on the sea stays behind me, one day I'll know. If I go, there's just no telling how far I'll go. I know everybody on this island seems so happy on this island. Everything is by design. I know everybody on this island has a role on this island, so maybe I can roll with mine. I can lead with pride, I can make us strong. I'll be satisfied if I play along, but the voice inside sings a different song. What is wrong with me? See the light as it shines on the sea, it's blinding, but no one knows how deep it goes. And it seems like it's calling out to me, so come find me and let me know what's beyond that line. Will I cross that line where the sky meets the sea? It calls me, and no one knows how far it goes. If the wind in my sail on the sea stays behind me, one day I'll know how far I'll go.
That was awesome. So if you've never seen Moana, have you seen Moana? Isn't it awesome? Okay, if you haven't, go home and watch Moana, because it's all about the young woman who has a bigger vision and a passion far beyond anyone else on her island. And she finally has the courage to follow her passion, and in doing so, she saves her island. Yeah, so Goosebumps song. You did it beautifully. Thank you so much. Thank you for following your passion.
Any day I get to sing a Disney song is a good day, so I'm okay.
All right, let's stand and share our unity blessing, and make sure we turn and we bless our friends on YouTube and Facebook. Together, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in each and every one of you. All right, let's sing the peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And wherever God is, all is well. Make sure you come up and get this week's practices and your gold stars. Go forth and pursue your passion. And I understand there's a full lunch downstairs for fellowship, so come on down and eat, y'all. Have a great week. Bye-bye, YouTube and Facebook friends. We love you so much.